from this very issue. Let's see what the panel have to think about this issue and issues more broadly. And we've got a rare treat for you on Contrarians today. You've got 3 backbenchers. I can't think of anything more than the Sky viewing audience would want than to listen to 3 backbenchers run party lines. So hopefully, no party lines today. Ed Husic, member for Chifley, at least this side of the next election. Thanks for your company.
Does it have a mute button on?
Alex Hawke, probably the only member of the 3 here that is safe at the next election. Member for Mitchell, we appreciate your company.
Great to be
and
here.
Nick Champion in Wakefield, you're not looking too bad, but we appreciate you being over here, flying over specifically for this show, slotting the nation in last night on the way through. Thanks for your company.
It's a hell of an introduction, isn't it?
Yeah,
all right,
I told you we need a mute button.
Let's get to brass tacks. Now, Ed Husic, Nick Champion, you're both known to be big champions for Kevin Rudd. You've obviously gotten together while Nick's over here and talked about how you make it happen.
You want to handle that one first?
Right into it, hey?
You must.
I thought we were talking about carbon.
I keep hearing numbers are being
Let's
said.
talk the
You
real
must have
issues.
got
Let's
together
talk the
and
real
chatted about
issues.
Aren't we talking about carbon? Look, the only place we've got together is here, just before the show. So Ed and I spend a lot of quality time together, but not this.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Yeah, that's right. And that's, caucus in Canberra, but I haven't seen him in Sydney.
All right, so you'll ease into the leadership talk. We'll get to that a bit later. But, Alex, let's come to you. I mean, speaking of leadership talk, we all know that Tony Abbott's not a huge fan of you. He's made some pretty nasty comments about you over the years. Now, you're an up-and-coming MP. Nick here was saying that he thought that you gave a cracking speech as your first speech to Parliament when we were on the way here. What's going on? Why doesn't Tony Abbott
Nick
recognise...
said that? This Nick?
He did. Why doesn't Abbott recognise your talent and put you on the front bench?
I won't
He just
say
ruined
it
your
on TV.
career. I mean, smashing career since,
I won't say it
2012.
I won't say it on TV,
But why aren't you on the front bench? I mean, there's so many average coalition front benches. Why can't Abbott sweep them aside?
I won't say ask that question every day, Peter, but, I am, after White Roy, I'm the youngest member of the coalition, I'll have you know. So, White makes me feel
12,
old.
let's be honest.
White makes me feel old, but look, I'm still the youngest, and look, the coalition is a very sensible place and a very structured place, so one of the features of it is that all of our experience is on the front bench and doing a good job.
That's a party
That's a good job. I'm happy with it.
But
one of the good things is that Tony Abbott recognises young talent when he sees it and he's prepared to promote from the backbench.
I don't have enough hands to count the amount of dead wood on the coalition front bench. What's going on? Do you think Abbott, let me put it differently, do you think Abbott will have the guts to put the talent, it may not include yourself, it may, onto the front bench after the election when he's got the authority of Prime Minister and these guys have probably lost their seats?
No, I think he's going to go straight into government and start governing. That's his number one job, and he's got a team to govern.
He's got a crap team around him,
He's
let's be honest.
got a great team.
He's got some good players, I'll give you that, but there's a lot of dead wood.
Look, I think there's a lot of experience there. It'll do a good job. The nation needs it after this government. The problem is this government doesn't look like it's going well at all at any part of the bench.
Well, these two would agree with you. That's why they back Kevin Rudd. But
well, I'm on these two sides. They should be on the front bench, both of them. They should make a move, get in there.
I think the sooner we see you and White fighting it out for that parliamentary sex spot.
Why not got a long-term plan, long-term vision.
Oh, yeah, that's right. White's going to be Prime Minister and you're going to be his Treasurer?
Deputy, number 2.
Frightening vision of the future.
When's politics going to change in this country? Because at the end of the day, both sides, they do run talking points all the time. Years ago, you used to have a bit of flamboyance. You had Bob Hawke, you had Paul Keating, you had Peter Costello even. But now, it's just a whole bunch of talking heads that are just getting the talking points beforehand. The only reason you guys might not be on message today is because you haven't phoned in the fact that you're here.
Well, that Craig Emerson is the worst, let me tell you. He's always on message, always on song, that guy.
How could that even be on message? That's a better question. Ed Husic, let me come straight to you. Because
I'm always on message. I'm always going, there is no way I'm singing. As much as I love giving great footage for Peter Van Onselen.
He was a turkey to do that, wasn't he?
That ain't happening.
What do you think? Was he a turkey to do that?
Well, he enjoyed doing it. He was happy. You could see his heart was singing.
We enjoyed it too.
If you had to walk through a door and your life depended on it, would you ever advise someone to do that?
I think he was let down.
I could see a place in this world for singing.
Let's be fair. He was let down by the backing music. It was the backing music. If there'd been good, there'd been a bit of a proper karaoke machine, it would have been a different outcome.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard that the Prime Minister's office was informed of his decision to do that beforehand. What does that say about their strategic thinking that they didn't just put the immediate kibosh on it?
I think we're promoting a new cultural arts policy, and I think it's great to see.
He's the Trade Minister, and he's wandering around Whyalla like he's part of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Didn't you have a
question
before?
That's
not in a good way.
Harsh for the movie, mate.
Have you taken your angry pills today or something?
You got sidetracked on Showtime. Like, what's the... You had some sort of question.
All right, well, let's get back to the carbon tax, carbon price. Was it a mistake first question for the Labor side. So, Nick, to you. Was it a mistake to concede it was a carbon tax?
Look, I think we should have always been calling it a carbon price. I don't think there's anything doubt about that, because that's what it is. And I suppose in trying to be too candid and perhaps too honest for politics, in a moment of candour.
The Prime Minister decided to say that she honestly was dishonest before the election.
If you look back at the footage, to be fair to her, if you look back at the footage, she says, I'm not going to split hairs on the effect of it. And so that was, obviously became part of the hysterical scare campaign that was run by the opposition. And they've been running a hysterical scare campaign, and now D-Day's come, and they've got nothing much to say about it. That's the truth.
A massive lead in the opinion polls. But Alex Hawke, fair question, or fair point, I should say, by Nick. Like, the scare campaign is over the top, isn't it? Like, at the end of the day, Tony Abbott's going to win the next election, short of almost anything happening other than perhaps a Kevin Rudd comeback. And why does he put himself in the position where he goes so over the top? I know that it's for political purposes, but he can't possibly believe that the sky's going to fall in.
Yeah, I disagree with you. Agree with that triumphalism?
I think he does believe in it. I think he does believe this is a bad tax, and he's going to do everything in his power to stop it. And I don't think there's any opposition or any group that can engender a scare campaign that people won't believe in. People have to already have an existing fear. And people's fear is this administration.
It's the easiest thing you can do.
It is the easiest. People have a genuine fear about the competence of this government to deliver anything. And I think that's the way it is.
Scare campaign. I mean, in 1993, they just fought it straight on the issues over the GST.
But the GST is a good example of something that it was very easy to go out there and campaign against people.
Agreed to it. And the Australian election had agreed to it. They had said, yes, we'll have it.
You didn't win a majority of the vote. You didn't win a majority of vote. You didn't win a majority of the vote in 98. You didn't win a majority of the vote. You lost the popular vote in 98. But the point about it is, when the GST was introduced, right, and when it became part of the system, only a fool would have tried to unscramble the egg. And that's basically what you're going to go to the people. In a year's time, you're going to go to the people and say, we're totally going to try and unscramble this egg.
You guys talked about
rollback in the GST for ages. Rollback worked well for us.
That's your policy. Rollback was there, it was coming out.
But it's the same deal for you guys. I mean, this is the point. When we went for rollback, I mean, everyone went, well, it's there. And this is the issue. By the time this actually, and our side of politics is saying this isn't going to have the impact that you guys have been scaring everyone over, and you'll see in time what happens.
See, that would all
but coming back to very quickly, but coming back to your point earlier.
Week one, there's two of you guys here, so week one, that would all be fine. Both of what you're saying would be fine, except for the fact that right now the government's trying to negotiate its own way out of this with the Greens, trying to lower the price, get rid of it, do something.
What is it doing?
That didn't even last 1 week. Didn't even last 1 week.
Not 1 week. And make it a fact.
Not 1 week.
Look, there were always going to be consultations with business.
Why didn't you say so?
Always going to be consultations with business about a floor price in the future.
Tell people
well, it's in the legislation.
So on week one you were going to change your floor price. Always.
No. This is for 2015.
Let me just interrupt. We had a tweet come in from Alyssa Milne saying, what a lineup. 2 of my favourite MPs and an old uni classmate. Who's the old uni classmate? Alyssa Milne.
That's not me.
Well, you didn't go to uni, but
must be someone from New South Wales.
Oh, he just tried to sing.
Maybe it was you.
Obviously, well, then she's completely ignoring one of you. But anyway, we also say, okay, you're carrying on like pork chops, is what somebody else has said.
That's what we do.
Well, we are. I think that's the point of the show, isn't it?
That's what we're here for.
We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, I'm going to try to get these MPs to take themselves and the country, frankly, a little bit more seriously. There are some major issues in the political lexicon. You're watching Contrarians.